Hello again. Until a very few years ago, the idea of informing on our neighbours or other fellow citizens to the authorities was regarded by all right-thinking folk as unacceptable and sneaky. We minded our own business and let others tend to their own affairs. We were aware that on the continent various foreign countries encouraged the practice of spying on their neighbours, East Germany for instance, but we thought that an awful way to carry on. Somehow this attitude shifted during the COVID business, when reporting to people next door for going out for a walk more than once a day suddenly became your patriotic duty. Informers were officially encouraged during that time, and it was seen as public spirited to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your neighbours, and to call the police if they had their grandmother over for tea. I'm not making any of this up. Those with clear memories will recollect that people were reported to the police both for having relatives for tea and for going for more than one walk a day. This was, of course, a form of mass hysteria, and most of us hoped that acceptance of reporting others to the authorities for supposed misdeeds was just one of those mad things which were happening at that time. In fact, reporting people to the government now seems to be on the rise. Informing to the authorities is definitely a thing these days. It's especially so since rewards are now offered for those who engage in such awful practices. A Freedom of Information request to the Inland Revenue, or HMRC as it's now known, shows that last year they paid out £1 million to ordinary people who grassed up their friends and neighbours for not paying enough tax. I had no idea that behaving in this underhand and dishonourable way could bring in money, but it seems to be a well-established, although little-known fact of life where tax is concerned. In other words, the British state now officially employs a network of paid informers, something which I do not view as an improvement on the way that things used to be in this country. I suspect that it might not be too long before the same system could arise for those who report people suspected of cheating on benefits, especially now that a crackdown has been announced on welfare fiddles. With every passing day, Britain comes to resemble one of the old Iron Curtain countries, where citizens watched each other and curried favour with the government by reporting them for deviating from the official line. This is, of course, all of a piece with the mad trend for reporting so-called hate crimes to the police. We are slowly but surely becoming a nation where we are unable to trust our neighbours, where we are guarded and cautious about what we say to others, lest we get a knock on the door from the police or the tax authorities. Dreadful way to live.